All right, y'all already know what it is. Back with another classic. Today we got a 1972 Buick Skylark. I think this car is super clean. I love the color. When I think about Buicks, you know, it's kind of one of the first colors that come to my mind, this and that goldish color. As far as A-bodies go, you know, I got a sweet spot for the Skylarks. I think their interior is designed cool. I love the bumpers, so let's just get into it. As you can see, we got this light blue paint job. Paint is pretty solid. There was only one spot that I noticed. I'll point it out as we get around it, but I do think the paint is pretty solid. Probably about an 8.5, honestly. Better than driver's quality. I do not think that it needs a paint job. You guys see it's got the white radials on it, super clean. We're just gonna move down the body. I didn't have any dents or scratches that needed to be pointed out. Clearly it's a convertible. We'll show the top going up later on as well. Very solid body. Floors and frame is too. You'll see once we put it on the rack. If this is your first time watching one of the videos, we try to go as in-depth as possible. Looking at the trunk, as I always tell you guys, this is where the lights really hit the most. And again, you can tell always how good of a paint job, how good the paint is, by looking at the definition of the light. As you can see, we got rectangle lights. You can clearly make out that you know, the shape of it. You can tell the shape of the light. Versus, you know, we have other cars where it just looks like a full-on blob. So, like I said, very solid paint. And bumper is good as well. No dents, no rust. There is a little tiny bit of pitting starting. Very light. And this is what I was talking about with the Buick bumpers. I love the Buick being stamped into them. I think it's a super clean aesthetic. Other than that, trunk looks to be properly aligned. These gaps look solid. I don't see any raising, so looks pretty solid. Coming down the driver's side along the rear, don't see any waves or any dents. That rear fender looks pretty solid. Let's see. I'm gonna keep on moving. Got a little bit of chips here on the door. You guys already know where that comes from. People just opening the door a little bit fast, catching it on things. And this is the one spot that I was talking about. In my opinion, my expert opinion, I'm gonna say that there was a scratch here and somebody decided to go ahead and wet sand it out, because I'm seeing sanding marks. They look pretty straight, so I can kind of tell that's what happened, but it doesn't look like they cut and buffed it down to go ahead and get those sanding marks out. So you can kind of see it right there, but no indentations or anything there to worry about. Coming towards the front fender, got a little bit of a scratch here. Might not pick it up good on camera, but you can see it. Front windshield is solid. We don't have any cracks, any rock chips. And then as we come down the hood, again, you guys can see we don't have any like bubbling of the paint or anything. Hood appears to be properly aligned as well. That gap looks pretty solid and I don't see it raised. Front bumper is the same as the rear. I don't have any dents or anything, but we do have some pitting that's going to start eventually. And the grill looks solid. Let me go ahead and pop the hood while we're here. Sorry about that. So as you know, she's got the 350 in it. Relatively clean under here. You can tell it's got a new brake booster. So power brakes, power steering. This was a non-AC vehicle. Other than that, super clean underneath, honestly. Well taken care of. Let me grab the keys so we can pop the trunk. All right, nice clean stock trunk. Weather sealing still looks solid through here. You can always tell when the trunk is rusty because you can kind of hear it. Nothing shaking around in there. Old school owner's manual, I always like to leave that in there. And like I said, trunk panels look solid. You got your normal surface rust from when you leave things sitting there, but nothing that a wire brush and some new splatter coating wouldn't take care of, which I would do anyway. But super clean. He's out there moving that Camaro right now. That's what you guys are hearing. Interior is in pretty good shape. I will point out the one negative. There's that Camaro I was talking about. I think it's a 68. I don't know. I had to check. I can only tell by the vent window and then the little vents behind the door. I didn't look too hard at it. But rear seats look good. We don't have any rips, any tears. So do the passenger door panels on both sides. And the carpet looks solid as well. No rips, no tears, nothing like that, so we're good. Jams look solid as well. And then here's our front passenger seats. Again, no rips, no tears, very solid. Like I said, on both door panels you will see that they are kind of ripped up at the bottom, and that's why I said this is really the only negative on it. And the reason why, the panels are relatively easy to fix if you have an interior shop, but what ends up happening is sometimes you lose the detail here. So that's why we didn't replace them, because when we end up getting them done, it becomes just a nice smooth surface and you end up losing this detail that matches with the seats. So you'll end up having to order some new door panels, which they do have repops. It's just everything is so far out, like you might be 2-3 months out before you get one. But you know, if it's your car, you got the time for it anyway, to be honest. But honestly, out excuse me, interior wise, that's really the only thing that I could find that needed to be fixed. Everything else can stay exactly as it is. Looking at the driver's side panel, same thing, nowhere near as bad though. So, you know, 2 door panels. I ordered some for my Chevelle. I think they were like $200 total. So it really ain't something that costs. It's just the fact that you'll be waiting. Again, dash, no cracks, no warping, so super solid. Let me go ahead, what am I do? Let's go ahead and take this off and then we'll do our test drive. I know people like the, I don't know the official word for them, but the little slide in convertible top. I personally don't, because I feel like eventually it does loosen up that trim piece there. I know it's a sleeker look. I just prefer the buttons personally, but like I said, to each its own for sure. We're gonna drop that in the car, and then I'm gonna start her up and we'll let the top up and knock out our test drive. It's about 45 here now, so this is our cold start. Fire right up. We'll let her idle a little bit while I let this up. Alright. I'm good. As you guys see, she's coming up a little bit on the slower side. Nothing crazy though. There we go. Glass back, as you guys can see from the inside, we have no holes or anything. I'm gonna put you down for 1 second because I need 2 hands to go ahead and latch this. Got one. Sorry about that. So there we go. So we got both sides latched on. Let me get my seatbelt on. Sorry about that. Mileage reads 8,027. Obviously more than likely rolled over, but we don't have a way to verify. Horn works. Left turn, right turn. Wipers, no. Wait. Oh, they was just stuck. Wipers do work, okay. Lights are on. Not sure why it's showing the left turn signal. It's not on. It's not blinking or anything. Now it's blinking when I turn it. Not sure if that's you know, something that I just don't know about, but let's see. Nothing on the radio. Let me double check. Ain't no radio in the glove. It is a radio in the glove box, but I don't appear to have any power. So always like when they hide the radio, that's why I check it, but that one doesn't appear to be working. And heater is blowing. I'll leave it on low while we driving. Everything else is manual. Reading a full tank of gas. We did put 40 in, but just like with the Cutlasses, normally them little fuel things, they always the first thing to go. They'll always end up going past full. So take it with a grain of salt if it works. I don't know why they left this car here, but so we got that LeSabre getting ready to go out. Got the other Chevelle getting ready to go out. That's the LS swap one. Gear selector is showing correct. I know you guys want to see that. Hands off the wheel, she's tracking straight. Steering wheel is actually clocked straight as well. Hands on the brake, foot on the brake. She's not pulling either way. So brakes actually feel pretty firm. Motor sounds good. I got all the windows down so you guys can hear. We're up to about 40 now. No shaking outside the norm. Sometimes you can hear the dash in the mirror, but no abnormal vibrations. No belt squeal or anything, so we're good there. And shifts felt smooth as well. And I'm gonna turn around here. I learned my lesson. When it's between like 9:30 and 10, all these construction trucks be coming in and out. It's just better to avoid getting any rocks hitting the car and everything. So a little bit harder on the throttle now. I'm sure the speedometer is not working correctly. I feel like I'm doing about 50. It's showing 70, so just giving you guys that. That probably would need to be adjusted, but other than that, we have no lights on. Yeah, she's definitely eager to go. So yeah, she's solid. So give me a second, I'll get her on the rack and we will check out underneath. On the rack, again, rear bumper looks solid, no dents, no rust, just your normal pitting we talked about. I can tell this is a newer gas tank, no signs of leaks. Trunk pans look solid, as well as the frame coming back. Drums in the rear, shocks have been replaced at some point in time. Pretty sure the mufflers, the exhaust has been done at some point in time too. These normally rust out way more than what we're seeing. This is a factory 10 bolt Buick O's Pontiac style, so super clean. For you guys that don't know, I personally love these rear ends because they got C-clip eliminators. So unlike the Chevy versions where you got the C-clips in here that holds your axles, that's a super weak point. It's got the brackets on the end that keep the axles from coming out. So it's a super solid rear end to build on if you're not just gonna go ahead and swap out, you know, for a 12 bolt or a Ford 9-inch. Rolling down passenger side, frame looks nice and straight, no issues there. Floor looks beautiful over here. I have no soft spots and no wheel spots, nothing to worry about over here. And then as we come down the driver's side, frame is nice and straight. Floor looks good. At some point in time, I can tell the pan was put in just because I can see the seam sealer, but did a good job though. It's solid all the way through. I don't see any light and I don't see any flaking or anything. So solid through there. We just came off the test drive. I don't have any drips from the trans or oil pan. New disc brakes up in the front. They replaced the calipers. I can tell because it's that unfinished metal. New starter, obviously you guys can tell that, and I don't have any signs of leaks anywhere else. Yep, everything looks solid. So coming to the front bumper, same thing as the rear, no dents, solid. I'm gonna go ahead and move down this passenger side. All four wheels match, obviously look good. Wheels and the fenders are solid. I don't have anything that needs to be pointed out there. No runs in the paint, no bubbling. Like I said, you can tell this car was definitely well maintained all the way around. And the rear fender from the bottom, not showing any cracks or waves of any kind. And as we come on over to the driver's side, same thing here. I don't have anything that I can point out. And then getting underneath. Like I said, this thing definitely was baby because, like I said, the body is in phenomenal. So if you guys are interested in this 72, give us a call, 256-801-4409. Check us out at Rolling Museums on the website and Instagram. As always, appreciate you watching. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe below.